Welcome to my awesome Friday evening. You're listening to me, Heidi Hollis, the Outlander. So everybody, if you know how I do these shows, you're going to have a lot of fun. I think so anyways. But I'm going to tell you what this program is about if you don't know what this show is about. This show is about bringing outlandish and interesting topics to the forefront, from aliens, angels, ghost demons, holy encounters, shadow people, to Bigfoot, to the outlandish. I always say if it's weird, we're here, and now you are too. So you're among friends. If you don't know who I am, when it comes to the outlandish, I don't care what it is. Personally, I'm someone who has been there, seen that, experienced it, freaked out, found some answers, wrote about it, got over it, and now I'm hoping to help others do the same darn thing and understand this kooky, crazy world of ours. If you dare to learn more about me, go to HeidiHollis.com. It's really difficult. I always say there's things there that even my parents don't know, and I've had people actually go there and go, I thought there was something really like not kosher on the site or something, since you say that all the time. I'm like, no, it's just my parents don't go to my website. They're old. That's all I'm going to say. I don't do that stuff. I'm surprised they know how to spell the word internet. I'm just kidding. But anyways, on my website, you're going to find things there that link to my YouTube page, Twitter, Facebook. Scroll down to the bottom of the very first page, and also be sure to check out my extremely growing and popular comic strip called, what else? The Outlanders. So go to theoutlanderscomic.com or just go to Inception Radio Network's first page and scroll to the bottom, and you can just enjoy some silliness, a paranormal comic. That's it. And I want to tell you guys how you can hear this network and this show getting the wonderful Inception Radio Network app, IRN app. I think that thing is awesome. Anytime you're bored, don't know what to do with your life, and you're just like, I really need to hear Heidi right now. You just go and hit the app and have a blast. I try to have fun here anyways. And you could also just dial a simple number. That's how my parents listen to the show. 712-770-8888. And I always welcome you guys to call into the program. So I'm not afraid. So it's okay. But I know most of you guys listen to the show after the fact of it being live. So it's okay. It's all right. I forgive you. But that number, just in case, 1-888-919-2355, or go to Skype, find Inception Radio Network, and you will see MJ will take your dedicated questions and send them to me, and I will do my best to answer them. I'm sorry I'm not a psychic, but I will do my best. And the Inception Radio Network chat room, where you can listen to this show and chat live. And if you put everything in all caps, I will know you're asking me a question. So that is irnchat.com, and you can listen and meet other people like yourself there. I swear to God, it's pretty cool. Now, getting on with my favorite segment of the show, and it seems to be most of your favorite segment of the show, the Outlandish Corner. Yes, I'm trying to be more consistent. I'm sorry, I've been skipping it. I get so many cool guests. I just want to give them more time. But in the meantime, you guys suffer with all these questions, and you send me out tons of emails, and I'm like, I'm going to get to them, I swear to God. And then I get flooded with guests. I'm sorry. I'm going to do Outlandish Corner tonight. What is the Outlandish Corner? That is where I take your comments, questions, anything and everything out of the ordinary that you've experienced, that you have questions about, want some advice, or you just want to comment. And I read your emails off, or I invite you to call into the show, whichever. And I do my best not to be too much of a guru or anything, and just give you some level-headed advice because of my crazy background. The email is Das Outlander. That's DAS Outlander @gmail.com. Send me your stuff there, or find me on Facebook. Just put @1 Heidi Hollis. So 1 Heidi Hollis. That's my Twitter handle as well, because there's only one of me. No, there's not. There's more. That's why I had to put a 1. Somebody took it. I swear, it's the truth. So I'm like, hey, there's only going to be one. Hey, that's going to be my handle. One, Heidi Hollis. So anyways, without further ado, let me go on over to the Outlandish Corner. But first I have to tell you, my guest for tonight, it's all about angels and demons tonight. Oh, yes. You're going to dig it. Okay. All right. So here we go. Outlandish Corner. It says, Dear Heidi, I had no idea that the Hat Man was a worldwide phenomenon until I was doing a Google search on what people see during sleep paralysis. Last year, and the Hat Man came up. Okay, I read that in the wrong emphasis. Sleep paralysis last year, and the Hat Man came up. Okay, I saw the Hat Man twice about 9 years ago. The first time I woke up and saw him in the corner of my room. As I was staring at it, he appeared to float away. A few nights later, I woke up, and this time, he was right in my face. Yeah, he does not know personal space. Pfft, I bet his breath stinks like hell. It smells like hell because he's from hell. Get it? Okay, oh, never mind. I could hear myself screaming, but my body wasn't awake yet. Each time he appeared the same, shadowy and with a hat like a fedora. I couldn't see his face. I just remember thinking, it looks like the shadow of Dick Tracy. When my body finally woke up, I ran out of the bedroom and turned on all the lights. I was living by myself at the time. Oh, that's horrible, which made it extra scary. Amen, sister. Yeah, it's a woman. I then had words with him and told him to leave me alone. I called on God, Jesus, all my angels and guides, and told him I had an army of protection around me and that he can't hurt me. All right. I never saw him again after that. And then she sent an extra email. One thing I'll add to my original email above is that I've heard he sometimes appears as a warning when something bad happens or during difficult times. I was, she puts in all caps, going through a very difficult time when the Hat Man came. It was around that time, not sure if it was before or after his visit, that my best friend died tragically from a fall. Whoa, oh, man, it's been some staircase or something. I'm sorry to hear that. Then, about 2 months after that, I just moved to New York and got run over by a car. Oh boy, I was able to walk away from that somehow with only bumps and bruises. Thanks for reading, Julie. Holy smokes, Julie. You were going through a dark time. He loves dark times. I think his middle name is the Hat Dark Times Man. That's the Hat Man. Yeah, I don't know. He is he really enjoys that type of thing going on in people's lives, and I think those are the times that when we're most vulnerable and we go, "Screw you, God! You did this to me. How could you do this to me?" You know, it's like my best friend dies and I get smashed by a car, and he was just waiting his time like, it's got to be a crack in there somewhere for me to sneak in. I'm just going to wait till Julie figures it out. I'll put my Dick Tracy hat on and hover, and then I'm going to get in her face and let her know I'm closer than God. Yeah, sounds like him. Yeah, he is an opportunist, a leech, a low-down, rotten piece of crap. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm not surprised, but good on you that you called on God, Jesus, angels, and guides and slapped the army at him instead. I love it. I absolutely love that. So thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people need to hear that in the face of something so evil, you can smush his residue in his face. You know how you do a puppy? Like, did you crap here? Here, take this. Who did this? That was probably his crap that was going on anyways, not God. God does not allow for those things. Rotten things do those things. Anywho, moving on. Thank you, Julie. It says, hello, Heidi. My name is Carrie. And they put their last name. I've been dealing with the Hat Man since I was about 3 years or 5 years old. He has been coming in and out of my life. I'm 37 now. I've had sleep paralysis throughout my life dealing with him. Though I see other shadow people are creatures that attack me. Oh, okay. The Hat Man also turns into the Grim Reaper at times on his visits. I've been stabbed in the back with that swing blade that he carries around. My biggest thing is, how do you make them stop bothering you or flying around the room at night? Huh? Oh, bothering you and flying around is probably what they meant. Bothering you and flying around the room at night. Sometimes you can't always see them. You can feel them there, though. They called my name and spoke out loud to just get my attention. And that is all that they put. Wow, Carrie, I am so sorry to hear this. I have not heard of the Hat Man changing into the Grim Reaper freak. I know he works with him. I know that that's his backup dancer or something. I don't know. And he uses a stick to dance with and swings it at people. Yeah, he does that. That guy is something different altogether. Verdict is still out on him, but you got to wonder about the history of the Grim Reaper and why that has stuck around for so freaking long. I think there's more to that story, and I am working on it. I swear, I am working on it. How to keep these freaks away? Well, don't call them freaks like I do. So I hate them. They hate me back. It's so wonderful. But anyways, throw some hunks of God and big old sprinkles of Jesus on it, okay? You have to bless your home. I say this oftentimes, and people are like, what do you mean I don't have the right faith to do that? I'm like, yeah, come on now. You just saw something horrible that got you to initiate, to reach out to somebody like myself, right? I mean, you know that something low down and rotten is a brewing in your casa. So, take the initiative to put whatever amount of faith that you do have in you. The faith of a mustard seed. Do you know that story? Do you know that story? The faith of a mustard seed. I believe it was Jesus that used this one and said, do you know that you can move a mountain, essentially? I don't remember the whole story. But if your faith is even the size of a mustard seed, which at the time was considered to be the smallest seed known to man, and if you have that much faith that you could do anything, so don't question your faith. Do not. If it's even the size of a mustard seed, go around and bless your freaking home. And I welcome you. Go to Facebook, look up Shadow People and Hat Man Experiencers group. That's my group. I have an awesome friend on there named Francine who helps me manage them. And there's a lot of people who have dealt with these things, and they talk among themselves, and they try to encourage each other, and it's pretty awesome. So you're not alone. Come join the group, and anybody that's interested in the topic, come on, join it. As long as you're contributing nothing but positivity and how to deal with this stuff and share your stories, hey, the more the merrier. We got to take these freaks down. I'm done. I'm done with these things. I'm so sick of hearing them victimizing people. I mean, here's Carrie, 37, about 3 years old, starting with the freak of all natures, the Hat Man, who will brag about being the demon of all demons, the devil or whatever. Well, all this time, so many years of being freaked out. Imagine you're sitting there watching the best football game that you've ever seen in your life, Packers. Aaron Rodgers. Did I say that? So you're watching football, and then out of the blue comes this thing that you see with both eyes, the same eyes that you trust to drive you back and forth to work every day, are not playing tricks on you, but there is a thing dressed in a hat and a suit, oftentimes with glowing red eyes. Just makes you question everything in reality. What are you going to do? I mean, this is a major thing. Imagine the chills that would go down your spine. You know this world. You think you know this world. And he steps out of the crack and goes, you don't know crack. So, step on a crack, break your mother's back. You know that saying, don't you? So it's silly. It's like he is real. there are too many people experiencing this guy, and he needs to be dealt with. And gather the strength. And on my Facebook page, the Shadow People Hat Man Experiencers group, I have a post of how to go about blessing your home. It's a bit detailed. It doesn't take long. It's a couple hours of your day to do on a nice sunny day. It's a method that I know that works, and some good friends of mine from the Light Side group taught me, and it works. Moving on, we've got another email. This one says, "Dear Heidi," that's me. "I happened to come across your website by a segment that you did on another radio show. I am somewhat of a medium. I don't practice or do it for a living or anything. If something comes through, I let people know. Anyways, I was listening to the program, and I was recalling every time that I've seen shadow people. It started when I was about 3. Here's another 3-year-old. There's another 3-year-old. Until this day, they run around my home." I'm just so ticked right now. "I honestly believe that any negative things that happen in my family, I believe that the shadow people stir it up. I sage every so often. I burn frankincense and myrrh, also sandalwood. I never really talk about it, and my family doesn't either. My daughter and my son are now seeing it at work. Any suggestions to take them? Message at your convenience, and thank you for your time, Angela." Any suggestions to give to them? I'm assuming is what you mean. I don't know. I'm reading, and you're medium. How can I say this? Because you're psychic or a medium or a prophet or whatever else it is, doesn't mean that you can't use good old-fashioned Christian faith or whatever the faith that you were raised in. I mean, I think we all have a sense of knowing and a sense of understanding and realizing other layers to this world, right? I think we all have that ability. But I'm not just going to drop my faith because I could see these things. I have seen a lot of things. And I had teetered. I shouldn't say teetered. I had walked away from the regiment of a religion initially with all the stuff that I was experiencing and seeing. I'm like, well, this stuff is more real. I mean, that UFO just took off over my head, But I always believed in God. And I couldn't imagine, like, say, pick up a crystal and put that under my pillow, as many have suggested to me over the years that, wow, that you really charge up a crystal. I'm like, it's a shiny rock. But, I mean, others put a lot of value to it. I put a lot of value in my Nintendo Wii games, but I won't put it under my pillow. I just did a confession. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so dumb, so bad. Whatever people believe to be true for themselves, go for it. I think that we can put a lot of faith into something and make it more powerful than what it really should be. My Nintendo games have a very prominent location in my place. And I'm not kidding. Oh. I am so not kidding. They are very important to me. They're my release. So when a lot of people, okay, hold on. Where was my thought? My thought pattern was going somewhere. I swear to God it was. But a lot of people have suggested a lot of things to me, and burn this, burn that, and I'm like, holy water works, So I would say a suggestion for your kids: go back to your roots. These new things are fascinating and shiny, rocky type stuff, like, ooh, something cool and new. But sometimes, the days of old, there's some value. There's some serious value there. And I don't think we should turn our back fully on it, because it's worked for, I don't know, through the sands of time, like days of our lives or something. And you should really believe that. and frankincense, myrrh. Okay, I know that's old fashioned. I've heard that. I think I saw that in the Bible or something. But still, didn't I? Or is that the three wise men? I don't know. But saging is something different. I just use water, and again, I welcome you to go to my my Facebook page, and I have a pinned post on how to go through your home and bless it properly and put these things at bay. I mean, you're 3 years old, and I think when these things start young at you, that somehow they're able to get a little bit more comfortable and keeping like that finger in the dam to reach in towards you. You know what I mean? Like, boo, you're 3. Ah! And it's like, oh, you got me. I'm just 3 years old. I don't know how to protect myself. And they keep their finger in the dam that's able to access you, And as you grow, they keep their finger there, and they're like, boo. And you're like, oh my, I'm 5 years old now. I still can't handle you. And as you get older, they keep coming, and they've got that finger in there, and they're just like, they just find a way. And there's kind of a weird comfort level, I think, that others have as well, even though you're not really comfortable with them. And then they're like, ooh, you had kids. I'm going to go and tap on their door and stick my finger and bug them too. You've got to nip this in the bud, and you can. You don't have to be a lifelong victim to these things. I was for a long time, like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I wasn't a crybaby, but I just couldn't take it. It was take away my sleep and, your comfort levels. So, put your ethereal foot up their backside, cram it in, and bless your home properly. And on that list, I say what to do for children if they're really young and how to protect them as well. It's a lot. It's some details, a couple of pages. It's nothing in depth, but my goodness, if it's for your sanity and for your family's protection, do go over to Facebook, type in Shadow People and Hatman Experiencer Group, and all the others are not mine. This one is. All right, so moving on to the last one. This says, hello, exclamation point. I heard you on the radio, and I was so relieved to hear someone else has had the varied experiences I have had throughout my life. I came to understand within the past few years that they're just on to me. Maybe they think I'm neat. I've never heard that before. It's funny. I don't know. Shadow things, aliens, ghosties, bad guys, bouncy balls of light, Tommy knockers, you name it. Oh, and most importantly, God and Holy Ghost and Jesus and their spooky joy and math. I don't know what that means. They are all real. And they seem largely just curious. I am not afraid of them anymore. Well, not most of them. Some do make me nervous, but then I have to remember the big guy will take care of things. And so far, he has. Anyway, I just want to say thanks. It was great to hear you. Take care. Nancy. Well, Nancy, thank you. That was nice and uplifting. Girlfriend, tell me about it. And don't you get like... It's like, really? I have this list of things that I have seen. What is the dealio? I'm just trying to go and reach for some popcorn, and there's something in the way. I don't want to see these things either. So I get it. It's really dismaying and disheartening. And I think, people develop a thick skin, and then they sometimes develop a weakness, for these things like I was talking about. Coming around when you're so freaking young and developing a relationship of a sort. So you're comfortable oddly and they're comfortable greatly. And but then there's those of us that are like, okay, I'm freaked out, but hey, buddy, you're not sitting on my couch. Did you pay for that couch? Oh, no, you need to back up. So, so yeah, it's like, so, and it's weird how that faith thing kicks in. And there's a lot of us that experience negative things, but we also experience the positive things. And the positive things let us know you don't have to let him on your couch. No, I'll kick him off for you. Just back up for a second. I got this, boo. I got it. and they do, and it's a wonderful thing. So, and getting to that point, that comfort level is, oh, it's heavenly, because I was a person. I'll tell you, I could not. Okay, let me put it this way. When the shadow people really bombarded my life, I was a college student, and I lived in this apartment building that had had this really tiny little nook that they never, like, the light never seemed to be working. Okay, tiny little nook, probably, I don't know, 5 feet by 4 feet or something. And then there was like 3 stairs, and then you could open up the door and get out of the building. I mean, it would probably take two steps for me to hit my apartment door and to get in. I could not handle being in the darkness for that amount of time. I would burrow up the stairs and, like, boom, try to hit the door, like trying to get my key into the lock, and if I couldn't get in there the first go round, I would, like, go back, pop the door back open, and hope I could make it the next time before the door closed. I hated the dark. I knew what was in the dark, and I knew that they had more power in the dark. You were not going to catch me in the dark, not even for 2 seconds. I am not kidding. I could not bear it. I was a hot mess with that. I mean, imagine I grew up in a haunted house. I'd seen UFOs. I'd seen these demon things, shadowy things. I had dealt with enough. And yes, alien creatures. I mean, wow. That one seems to always knock people over, like, whoa, you can say demons, but don't talk about aliens. You did not see an alien. I'm like, I saw an alien. I don't care what you're saying, but it categorized as such. I don't know what their personal disposition was, but yeah, those guys, yeah, I seen them. So it's like when you have seen these types of things and you're trying to keep your grip on reality. I trusted myself. I trusted my senses, though. I never doubted what it is that I experienced. I just could not understand why the heck were they so darn nosy and wanted to know about me, a college student trying to get through school and just be done and be okay and get on with my life. So I really struggled to grasp everything that was going on. And then dealing with that, and then having these overwhelming positive things coming my way, angel stuff, Jesus encounters, just beautiful stuff. Now, something that Nancy put here in her email that is fascinating to me, when she put bouncy balls of light. Bouncy balls of light I experienced. And these bouncy balls of light would come in through the windows for me, Nancy. I don't know where yours would come in from, but I would have something in my place, and myself, my college roommate, whatever, we'd feel like something's here. I'd wake up before I would hear anything or see anything. Like my heart would start racing, and I would get this adrenaline rush, like I'm awake. You know, it's like something was pumping my chest to say, Heidi, something's looking at you. And I would just get up, and oftentimes there'd be a ball of light that would come from the window and attack a shadow person. Isn't that something? And shoo them on their way. It was a wild thing to witness, and I'd seen it several times. I don't know. So I can relate to what it is that you're stating here, and I know what it's like to deal with these things. And I have got to tell you guys, I am so overwhelmed and thankful that you guys take the time to write me and trust me to give some kind of sound advice about something. Whatever it might be. And I have fun doing it. We all got to crack jokes at some of this stuff in life, don't we? Or we're going to go mad. Just mad, I tell you. So thank you guys for taking the time to write me. And anybody who's experiencing something out of the ordinary, write me at dusoutlander@gmail.com or go to HeidiHollis.com or at one Heidi Hollis on Facebook or Twitter. And we're going to go to break. You guys are listening to me, Heidi Hollis, the Outlander, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to me, Heidi Hollis, the Outlander. Remembering, always if it's weird, we are here. We're giving you advice and insight on outlandish topics. Phone lines are always open at 1-888-919-2355. And oh my goodness, you guys are in for a really great treat. We have French revivalist Michel Chevalier. He considers himself as a prophet with Huguenot roots, who has been through 40 nations and is known for his personal prophecies. He's also known for supernatural manifestations like gold teeth appearing in people's mouths. Michel has had several encounters with angels, and he has witnessed many deliverances from demons in people's lives. And live from Lyon, France, Michel Chevalier. How's it going, Michel? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. It's such a great privilege for me to be on the air with you.
Oh, are you
I'm a little bit nervous. I am a little bit nervous, though, but we'll make it through, I guess.
We're just a couple of friends hanging out. What do you mean? This is all fun.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Thank you.
Yeah, so how are you doing? You had an event today, I heard.
It's been snowing here in France, so we woke up this morning with inches of snow, but it's melting now, so it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
I'm taking.
New York & Company is the best kept secret for great fashion at amazing prices. The new holiday collection has arrived, and this weekend is the Friends and Family sale. Every single thing 50% off. From holiday party outfits that sparkle to hundreds of spectacular gifts starting at $5. They have something for everyone, including new arrivals from their exclusive celebrity brands from Eva Mendes and Gabrielle Union. Hurry and check out the best deals of the year from New York & Company.
Taking a train in a couple of hours. I'm going to be taking a train to go to Brussels, Belgium, to another conference. So I'm on the road. I've been 6 weeks on the road right now. Yeah, all over.
Goodness, what are you doing? I mean, like you're spreading some words. What's happening?
Yes, well, I'm hosting some meetings on my own, and then also I'm invited in conferences. Also, sometimes in the weekends I'm preaching in churches and all kinds of places. Yeah, and I do that every 2 other days. I'm in a different place, a different city, sometimes different country, and I do that 9 months out of the year.
Wow, that is amazing. What drives you? You're a busy man.
Yeah, but when the Lord gives you puts a gift inside your spirit, all you want to do is to go out with the gift and bless the people and make people happy and make them help them with their faith and and then pray with them, because we're Christians, so we want to pray for people. We want to pray so that their needs will be met and God will reveal himself to them.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And I think that during this day and age, we need a lot more people just like you. My goodness. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting the kind of people we're meeting. Sometimes when I'm in Paris, I go and I sit on a terrace at a cafe, and I meet interesting people. Just share with them, talk a little bit, and then all of a sudden it all turns about God. It's amazing how people all around the world are talking about God, thinking about God, not necessarily religion, but God. Because everybody needs to finalize or keep going with his search. So I'm trying to help them. But I'm meeting really interesting people. Lately, I was with a man by the name of Sami Soleiman. He did the movie with Nicole Kidman, and we were talking about life, and all of a sudden it all turned out about God, and we were talking about God for like 2 hours straight. So I was really impressed. A guy like him, writing movies, and a big guy, and so that was good. That was good. I love it. It's a good life.
Wow, you're lucky to be doing what you love doing. I mean, it's I never question a person for their passion. It's like passion is it's a life of its own. It's like, people wonder, well, how do you do this or that? I'm like, I just live on passion. That's it pays. It pays like in ways that you just cannot imagine, and you get replenished every time you give some of it away. That passion,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And if you use the gift or the talent and the passion that is in you, it will open the doors for you to meet people all over, and and then the more you use it, the better you become, and then sometimes the better the people you will meet, and it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah, my goodness. So, tell us a little bit about your background, and what drove you to where you're at today. I mean, what happened?
It's funny you ask me that, because I was doing an interview today for a YouTube channel. They were asking me the same question, and they were filming me. No, I was born in Montreal, in a neighborhood not far from Leonard Cohen, in fact. So I was, and then when I was young, I was I went on drugs and things like that, and I wanted even to commit suicide, and some of my friends did it, but me, I didn't do it. The Lord came and rescued me just in time, and so I gave my life to the Lord, and was very passionate for my salvation, and I just began to tell the people about what happened to me, and then from that, I began to preach, and in front of people, and then I ended up in the United States, traveling with a TV preacher. This was kind of a ride, and then just following him, trying to learn the thing, and then in the mid-90s, the Lord just opened the doors for me to go to Europe, and I just began to travel all across Europe, and finally we moved there, and then we spent many years here. But about 10 years ago, we went back to America and then to Canada. So, but I keep traveling all the time. But that's my thing, I was hard on drugs and doing not the good life, and I was desperate. And then finally, I came to a place where I had to make peace with my Maker, and that happened.
I talk to a lot of people who turn their lives around after being in such a low point. I mean, do you think that was necessary to get to the high point that you're at now? I mean, it's just so common.
No, I don't think. Yeah, but I don't think so. Good people can get to meet God as well. I mean, the people who followed Jesus, they were not all bad people. Many of them were good people. In fact, they were religious people. They were good people. Some were not, but most of them were good as well. So it's not necessarily that we have to go so low in life to get to meet God. I mean, we can, whoever has a thought, whoever has a desire for God, I mean, God will come down and meet that person one way or another. It might take some time, but it will happen one day or another.
Yeah. I tell people, because I've had Jesus encounters. So you and I have we chatted on Facebook, and it's like people say, "Well, why you? Why did you get the opportunity?" I'm like, why not anybody? I think we all have that possibility to meet him and to hear him. I don't think that I'm anything special. I think that he knew I wouldn't sit on the information of what it was I experienced. It's so many people who write me will have the most incredible experiences involving Jesus or whatever, and they're like, I can't tell anybody because it's special to me. And I'm like, well, that's a crying shame. I mean, so you feel also that anybody can have these experiences, these encounters, and feel the love of Jesus and God, right?
Yeah. In fact, God is a supernatural God, and whoever gets really to meet him, it's going to be supernatural, and it's going to be awesome. And it needs to be like that as well, because that's what will give you the drive to tell people about Jesus, about God, about His power, about His miracles. Once you encounter Him, that's the first miracle. That's to get to know Him and feel His love. And then there's many other things that will happen after that,
Right. So, speaking of which, you've had some incredible encounters with angelic beings. Can you tell us about them?
Yeah, but the first in my family who had an encounter with an angel was my grandfather years ago. And I was young at that time, but this really impressed me. Kind of, it left an impression really in my life. But years ago, I was in the south of France, and we were hosting our own conferences and meetings. And during the time of music and praise and worship, I saw like something coming into the crowd, and it kind of took my attention. It got my attention, and then all of a sudden, as I was talking to the people, I saw that angel just walking between me and the crowd. He did it 3 times in a row, and the most funniest thing is that when I saw the angel, I was able to see the crowd through the angel. I could not understand how I was able to see that in different dimensions at the same time. Wow. And then the third time, I told the crowd, I said, "Do you see what I'm just seeing right now?" Because I was so caught up, kind of in the spirit, so to speak. And then at the same time, the Lord just opened the eyes of my wife, and she saw the angel just like I saw him. And this really, you can. I've had many things in my life, but I'm telling you, see, maybe after Jesus, but seeing an angel, it's an experience. There is something in the air you can feel that you will never forget that. And since then, and even before, I felt the same thing. But now I know that what I felt, or if I feel it again, I don't need to see the angel anymore. I know that he is there, and he is there to do something, or to protect me, or to do the miracles into the life of the people to whom I'm preaching. But it was really it was awesome. And then another time, another angel came as I was done preaching, and he just stood up on the platform, and I saw him in my left angle on my eye, in my view. And at first, I didn't want anybody to jump on the stage after the service, so I said, "Who's that guy? He has such a nice suit. That was like an Italian or Armani suit, something like that. And his hair were like gray, silverish, gray, goldish hair. But it didn't bother me. And then after that, he did something. He threw something toward me with his right hand, and that's when I realized that it was an angel. And then he just disappeared. He left just like he came. I was shocked. I was really shocked. Yeah.
Amazing. I don't
want to exaggerate my experiences, but this is it happened just like I'm telling them to you, honestly.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of this or experienced? I've had several people I've spoken to that have seen angels or see them regularly, and some of them tell me they are huge. Have you ever seen a big angel?
Yeah, one time, I didn't see that angel, but some people, they saw him. He was so big, and his head, the upper part of his body went through the ceiling and the roof of the building. But at the same time, it's like the people were seeing him in another dimension. But the angel was about 30 feet high. 30 feet high. Was a huge angel with a sword, with a shield, and he was dressed like a warrior angel. Maybe this was the angel watching over our ministry, or I don't know. Yeah. But I didn't see him. But many people saw him, and they were crying. And then an old Scottish man was at the meeting, and he was just shaking. He said, "I cannot believe my eye. What I've been seeing." He was all shook up. He never saw that in his life, and he was really you could see that this was true. Yeah. I know
Wow.
people are seeing angels left and right, but and then they're blessed if that happens. But sometimes you can see, like, people have encountered, like, with the shadow people, but sometimes you would see like angels, it's like a little, like I would say, like a glory shadow passing, and there are beings there, there are angels there, there are supernatural, beings being in the place. This happened to me, not regularly, but I would say like a few times a year, like 2-3 times a year. I see that. My wife as well. Yeah, she's it.
Wow. I just so happened a few months ago, I bumped into somebody who's became kind of a friend, and it was actually for a writers group. And when she learned that I was into the paranormal, she was like, so I experienced something odd too. And I'm like, what is it? She's like, I see angels. And so does my daughter. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. What do they look like? She's like, they're the size of a mountain. And I'm like, wow, and one of my friends, she considers herself to be an angel medium. And she's like, Heidi, they are humongous. And I'm like, why do they have to be so big? I don't understand.
But you know what? Maybe the Lord, because everything that's spiritual, it works, it operates through our imagination as well. It's called the hippocampus. That's something inside of us we have. The Bible calls it the eyes of the heart. But since it depends who we are, how we are made, as a spiritual person. But sometimes, we can see things way, way, way bigger than they are really. But it's just, we're seeing it, and then that's all we are, But some angels are really big. Some may be smaller, but some are really big. Yeah, I believe that.
That is just mind-blowing. And so there's some consistency to this. This is really just, I don't know. I wish I had seen, well, I've had encounters of a different sort with angels. But if I walked outside and I saw one the size of 30 feet tall, I mean, that is just so different. I just can't imagine. Yeah. So, okay.
It can be, angels. Angels are spirits. So it can be that the person is having a gift of discernment of spirits, not necessarily evil spirit, but she discerns the good ones, the angels, and she sees them as they are. It can be also a gift that the person has, that she's able to see a certain type of things in the spiritual world. Why not? Hey, right. I think it's okay.
The interesting thing that I also hear consistently with those big angels, that they usually have a sword and they look like they're in warrior gear, like they're ready for battle. So these big ones are like the tough guys, I guess.
Wow. One thing I know is that there are so much more angels in this world. Even if this world is all in a mess, there are many more angels in the world than there are demons and bad angels. I really believe that God's world has invaded the earth and the life of everyone in this earth, and there are angels all over the place. All over. It's just
makes sense.
I think it's just a matter of time that humanity will people of all kinds of life, all walks of life, they will start seeing angels or angelic beings coming to them, or they will just be the witness of a supernatural world that's taking place around them. And but eventually they're going to have to do something with that. They're going to have to either seek God, become a Christian or a true believer, or they're going to have to, because if that happened to you, you're kind of you're going to have to do something with that. It just cannot happen to you just for like a vain thing. It needs to be, there's a purpose to that. So right. That means you have a purpose, you have your destiny. You need to fulfill. You need to start, looking inside your life, inside your heart. What is your purpose for being in this world, and what good can you do to people around you? And most of it, you need to come to know Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior, and start developing a relationship with Him, because the angels eventually will lead you to Him.
Speaking of Jesus, have you noticed an increase in Jesus sightings as well as the angel encounters?
Yes, even among children. This more and more, especially in the kind of the setting where I'm traveling and ministering, more and more people, parents, and even young kids, they're telling their parents they've seen Jesus coming to them, or angels coming to them, but more and more they're seeing Jesus in one way or another. They have a testimony to share about that. That's pretty touching, especially from children, because coming from children, it's kind of it's hard for a young child to lie. They are so true. So
is there a message that's getting? True. Is there a message coming across from these encounters with the angels and Jesus? Is there a certain theme?
Some of them. It's kind of that everything will be all right. Their parents will be okay, and some of them, Jesus is giving them gifts. Is giving them like a little surprise, a gift that they have to carry in their heart and live with until the day they're going to use it. Yeah.
What do you think that is?
Well, I think maybe the church, the religious systems, and the preachers have not done their job very, very well. So the Lord is stepping into people's life to do it. So maybe that's what it is.
Okay, that gave me chills, because I put in my Jesus No Joke book the first encounter I had with Jesus. He was telling me something, and I knew I wasn't supposed to hear his words or remember what it was, because when the time was right, it would come my way. It would come to me, what needed to be known. And so this is a common theme, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I really believe this world in which we're living, since I'm traveling in different countries, there's something there is something in the air about like a heavenly invasion in this world, and the Lord is preparing people through different experience, and the time will come. I believe that we will all mature and come to a more perfect knowledge of God and His plan, and and all of a sudden, people that have had no church experience or really tradition, they're gonna start being used by God to do supernatural thing, and this will shock the world and shock the religious system, and this will bring about a big revival, if we can use that word, or a move, a spiritual, supernatural move in the world, and the people will want more God after that. That's what I think.
Wow. I like the sound of that, because something needs to change. There is a lot going on right now. People are aware that something is happening, and I think a lot of people get this inner drive in them that's like, I should be doing something right now to help things along, but they don't know what it is, where it's coming from, but they just know they have to do something. And I just find that fascinating, and we seem to be finding each other on top of it all. I get these emails from people, it's like, I just feel like I'm supposed to be, and I'm like, I understand that inner drive, just, and you're just like, follow it, do whatever it feels to be telling you, and keep it in the light and keep positive, and you will get to whatever it is that it's guiding you to. I honestly believe that.
Yeah. A few years ago, I felt like something was weird in the world. There was something wrong, something dark. But the last about 2 years, maybe because I'm more in France, maybe that's what's really happening here in France or in Europe. But now it's more like there's more light coming. There's more good things happening. There's
Nice.
it's like there's an army of God, coming. There's an army of angels that are coming, that are invading, and we are blessed to be part of it, or to know that, and to have the knowledge. And I'm sure that the day will come, we will receive instructions, what to do, where to go, and maybe even we will be translated or transported to some places just in a split of an eye,
I believe
we'll
it.
be there. Just I believe that too.
Well, we've got to get to our next break. You guys are listening to me, Heidi Hollis, The Outlander, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to me, Heidi Hollis, The Outlander, and I have Michel Chevalier, and we are talking about some Jesus and God and all the good stuff. And, I'm never shy to talk about them. And also talking about the dark side, because that's real too. And the darkness has been influencing a lot of people, and a lot of people need to have some help in getting the darkness away from them. And you help in that regards as well. Now, you've seen people be delivered from possession, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. Mm-hmm.
So what happened? I mean, what did you experience in seeing that?
Well, I had an experience some years ago with a African lady. I was in Belgium. I was touring in the part of Belgium, and a Sunday night after a full weekend of meetings, preaching, this black pastor, just asked me. He said, "Come with me. We're gonna go eat at the sister house. She has a good African meal for us." I said, "Oh, I like African meal, fufu and all those kinds of food. I like. Okay, I'll go."
Yeah.
So we go there. We eat. We eat. And those African people, how they are. When before they eat, they like to do long prayers and Thanksgiving. So I was okay, and then we ate. And then after the meal, I wanted to go to my hotel and to go back to my trip. And then he said, Brother Michael, I would like you to pray and bless the house and the sister. So I said, okay. So as I prayed, just a simple prayer, the lady fell on the floor, almost knocked the table, and then she began to turn into kind of a convulsion. And then, so we began to pray, and those African, they know how to pray as well. So we began to take authority, and then after 2-3 minutes, she kind of felt better, and she told me, she said, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm fine. Oh, thank you, I'm fine." So that's done. So as we walked out of the house, going down the stairs, a voice told me inside my spirit, "No. She's not okay. It's the spirit, it's the demon in her who spoke and told you, I'm okay, I'm fine." And the Holy Spirit told me, "Go back there and cast the spirit, the devil out." So I went back, I knocked at the door. I said, "Pastor, we're not done here." I knocked at the door, and when the lady opened the door, I still remember like if it was tonight. In her eyes, I saw that the demons, he knew that the Lord spoke to me, and he knew I was coming to cast him out of her. So I just reached my hands toward her, and I said, "In the name of Jesus, you come out right now." And then that demon or whatever it was, it went like from her mouth, and her eyes changed completely from one second to the other, and then she was completely free, delivered. And that was like, if I would have not known it, I would have just thought, oh, I've done a good job, she was delivered, that was easy. But the Spirit of God spoke into my spirit, and he told me, "No, it's the demon inside of her that told you everything is fine, I'm okay." Wow. But no, she was not okay. And then when I went back, the devil, the demons in her, he knew that I knew, and he was uncovered, so I cast him out, and that was, she was freed,
I have
Thank you,
chills.
Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, amen. I have chills. That is amazing. I've always wondered. I'm not trained in anything, and I know that I've come across people who have things attached to them because I could feel it, and sometimes you see it and even smell it. And I'm like, I don't know. I've never taken authority like that. I don't know if that's my place to do that. I think it takes a special person like yourself to say, oh, we're going into battle, everybody. Let me roll my sleeves up. So good on you to do that. I think that is a gift. That's a gift.
Well, yeah, that is a gift. Yeah, yeah. But we go ahead. No, go ahead.
I know you do other things. I know that you have other gifts. You get messages. You change people's teeth to gold. I mean, what are we talking about? Yeah. You have amazing gifts. Let's just go there. What is going on? So you get prophecies where, things come to you and you're just like, how does that happen? What's going on here?
Yeah, but that gift of prophecy, I had it since I was young, since I was around when I gave my life to Jesus. That was the first gift that was given to me. But when I look at people and I will see things in their lives, usually it's the good things. I will prophesy their destiny. I will prophesy the good things of God for them. And sometimes I will even receive maybe their name or precise information. And then I'm working with that to build in them, confidence and, self-esteem, and try to bring the love of God into their life. But also in my meetings, sometimes, I really feel that there's another level of supernatural presence that's coming, and when that is there, then the Lord is just telling me that He will put gold in people's mouth, and that's what's happening. It happened to me about 1,000 times at least so far. So we had people receiving sometimes up to 12, gold fillings or silver fillings, and it's been documented. Yeah, and many places. I even have pictures of that.
New York & Company is the best kept secret for great fashion at amazing prices. The new holiday collection has arrived, and this weekend is the Friends and Family sale. Every single thing 50% off. From holiday party outfits that sparkle to hundreds of spectacular gifts starting at $5. They have something for everyone, including new arrivals from their exclusive celebrity brands from Eva Mendes and Gabrielle Union. Hurry and check out the best deals of the year from New York & Company.
I put on my website, even TBN, I think, did something on me years ago about that, and Daystar TV network in the U.S., they did that as well. No, it's just the Lord is doing it for different reasons. Sometimes He really wants to repair people's teeth, but sometimes it's just to do a sign of His omnipresent power, that He does things, that He's sovereign, and it's not a matter of people having the faith for it. It's just God wants to do it, and it's powerful, and that's there. And it makes people really wonder. I'm telling you, people after that, they say, what's going on here? So I had people coming to my meetings and not believing in that at all, and they ended up receiving it, so that's a lady. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'll tell you something really quick. This is the truth, but I was 8 years old when I met my future stepmom, and she was talking, and I was sitting on her lap, and I'm like, and I stopped her and grabbed her jaw. I'm like, is that gold in your mouth? And she said yes, and I had a twisted sense of humor, and I said, when you die, I'm going to dig you up and I'm going to take that gold out of your mouth. And I swear I said this. And she's like, what is wrong with this child? I've always had a twisted sense of humor. But the gold symbolizes something, doesn't it? I mean, and what's your website where people can see these images too? But I'm sorry, go ahead and answer.
Yeah, you go on ChevalierMinistries.com or FranceRevival.com. Both, it's the same website. But talking about somebody who died with the gold in his mouth, there was a man in Belgium who had a gold crown in his. The Lord, placed it there, and he was an old man. So before he died, he put on his will, "Don't you bury me with my gold crown." He said, "God gave it to me," and so his children had it removed. Okay, so and then they took the crown to a jewelry place in Antwerp and just outside Brussels, and they had it analyzed. Listen, the final analysis report came, and they said, first, it's at least 24 karat gold. It's pure gold. Secondly, we don't understand why it is so pure and it is so hard. And thirdly, they said we cannot find the DNA of that gold. We cannot tell where it's from. Is it from South Africa? Is it from northern Canada? We don't know where this gold is coming from. But this is the first time we saw such pure gold and so hard. It's amazing. But we know where it came from. It came from heaven. It's a substance from heaven, and it's coming down on earth into people's mouths. Why not? Hallelujah.
Right. Yeah, that is mind-blowing. So your gift of prophecy, I have to ask, because I think we all get a gut feeling. I get dreams sometimes about people that tells me things about them, and but it's I don't have the confidence to say, "Hey, this is going to happen." How do you envision these prophecies? Do you just hear them? Do they just pour out of you? Do you have some dreams as well? I mean, is it a combination of things?
It's a combination of things, but sometimes I would receive vivid dreams, or I would hear words in my ear or deep in my spirit, a message. But I would say most of the time it's a feeling I have about the person that's in front of me. It's either I have compassion, or I feel the sickness, I feel the problems, I feel what she needs to be more into the will of God for her life. So and then from that I have words, or I have a message that I will give to that person. And sometimes it can be really, I can say, "Thus says the Lord," but most of the time I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, "This is what I see, and this is, what you need to do," or this is, I try to, it's a gift, so you work with it. You don't need to have always a religious vocabulary. You just work with the gift as you are, and in a way that the people will relate, and they will know it's God, one way or another. Because we all do everything in His name and for His glory, and we are working out of His love, So if I have love in me, that's His love in a way. But sometimes also I will be in a place, and really the Lord will attract my attention to a person, and then I will just go to that person, and as I'm talking to that person, that's when the message is coming, and then I will tell the person the message, what she needs to do, what she should not do, or sometimes where she should put her money or his money, what he should invest. I would receive things like that. I'm not like a seer, so to speak, but it's kind of a little bit like that sometimes, yeah.
But, God speaks to us all. So how can we, okay, I know I've had the encounters I have with Jesus and the angels and whatnot, but I don't know always, and I think a lot of people feel this way, how to fully know if I'm hearing God right so well that I could go up to a stranger and go, "Guess what God told me about you?" I don't know. How can we teach, or how do you teach people to trust that inkling, that gut instinct?
Yeah, I would say first, just follow your heart. And then maybe sometimes you're just gonna miss it. And why? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just trying to work, with your gift. But after a while, you're gonna become more confident. And then the more you are confident, the more the Holy Spirit in you and the gift in you will work better, and then after a while you get just used to it, and it's a lifestyle. So you prophesy over people in many ways, and sometimes you can even talk with a person without even mentioning God or Jesus, and you are prophesying to that person. You're just using the wisdom, but sometimes you might have direct messages for the person, and he needs to hear that right now, and it's from the Lord. But otherwise, not everybody needs to be talked to like that every day. But we need to. I'm not going to use the word channeling, but it's almost like that. It's like there's a world of knowledge you have access to in the spirit, and God knows it, and the Spirit of God knows the heart of man, and He knows the heart of God. So if you are right in the middle, you will be the transmitter, the transmission for those words of life, to come into the life of the people.
Yeah, I gotta tell everybody, Michael. We've been friends on Facebook, and and I was like, it would be cool to have you on the show. And I know the listeners to the show are like, wow, Heidi's never had a revivalist come on the show and speak on such things. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't I? I just find what you do to be absolutely fascinating. And I know you'd read my book, Jesus is No Joke, and we had that in common, that, we love Jesus. Yeah, there's just no getting around that, and we don't want to. And, when I first put that book out, and I was known for the paranormal stuff, and I was approaching religious radio talk shows, and they said, heck no, we don't want to talk to you. I want to preach my own stuff. And I found it to be a really strange, almost self-serving type of media out there. And I'm like, I really feel I need to get word out about this book of mine. And, the people that were open to me were other paranormal shows. And I was stunned by that they were so open to it. And, I really didn't find that much difficulty in that arena, but in the religious arena, I did. And I have to say, the world is a-changing. And but what do you think that limit is that's out there in the religious realm? We have the gates. This is what you're going to learn today. We don't want to hear from you if you've had a Jesus encounter or what your little ministry is about. I don't understand the limits that people place out there. I mean, what do you think is going on, and how do you go about getting the word out there? Because you do events all over the place. So I'm blown away with your strategies.
Yeah, but the religious system is it's a past thing, and they live in their paradigms, so much that they kind of missed what the Lord is really doing right now. So, like I told you, the more and more we will go, the more and more people will come out of, the wood, and coming to us with, miracle stories or supernatural encounters, and the religious world will not receive them. But, it's not the church that really needs that, it's the world that needs it, and the world the world is more prophetic today than the church. So that's why they are open to all kinds of things, and they need the people with the real experiences, the true experiences, to come to them and to reach out to them and just tell them what happened to them. And then that's, the religious system, I'm kind of a little bit out of the religious system. I'm not as much into the church system as before. And that's why I'm renting my own hall, and I'm doing my own meetings, and I go with the marginals, the weird people, and I find it more fruitful, But I still believe in the Christian church, no problem. But there's a world out there. They will never go to church. Maybe their parents never been to a church, so that's not where they will go, and they will meet their destiny. So people need to go there where the world is, where people are, and and bring the light to them. And that's the new challenge right now. That is a new challenge. And people can be sitting having a beer, and God will speak to them. Maybe even somebody can even smoke a joint and the Lord will appear to him, and then talk to him. And there's no. I'm not an advocate of that, but I'm open to. I've seen everything, so all things are possible, and
I get what you're saying.
We need.
I've even said sitting on the toilet, you just, why not? If you feel like praying, go ahead and pray. Maybe God will answer you. It's like, why place limits on a limitless God? Why? He sees all, and I have to say, even with all these different outlets that I've gone and reached out through, very few people have ever said, why did you do that? They're always more thankful, like, thanks, because I wasn't looking for hearing about this God stuff, but I was glad the way that you delivered it. And I think you're right. A lot of people, the churches are emptying out, and people still have that hunger to learn about something more. They know there's something more to this world and their lives. And when we introduce it in little chunks as a regular person, I think people are getting the point. And you're a fine example of that. So it's great.
It's because the church system, the religious system, they won't result right now. But sometimes you're just a sower. You're going there, you sow your seed, and then you go to the next one. You're not there to reap everything and to build your own organization right away. You just it's like this guy. His name is Todd White. He goes into those heavy metal concert, and he stands there in the middle of the crowd with 2 or 3 other guys, and he heals the sick, and he speaks to people's life, and right there in the middle of those heavy metal concerts. Hey, man, I think it's great. Why not?
That's fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, I got an interesting question for you, because one thing that has always kind of been brought up whenever you say, I experienced Jesus, I experienced this or that, and people would say, did you test the Spirit to make sure that it was of God? Have you heard that, and what have been your answers when people have questioned you about that?
Yeah. Well, it's a wise question. It's always good, to know if you're operating with the right spirit. I understand that. It's wisdom, and we should welcome that. But, if you hang around people that are walking in the light, you will grow into that light, and, you will automatically, do the right thing and, operate with the right spirit. And if it's not, but people are saying that because sometimes they don't know themselves. So they have they don't have any more discernment. They don't have any discernment as well. So that's why they're coming with those questions. But if you know who you met, if you know the Lord, if you know what you have, use it, and the Lord will be your judge. And if you want to grow into that gift, the Lord will teach you. He will lead you. Why do you need somebody to lead you all the time? You can trust the Spirit inside of you. He will lead you into all the truth. That's what Jesus said.
I love the way you express yourself, Michael. You've got a way with words. You truly do minister. It's like, I wish I understood French too, because I bet it sounds really good. Us Americans love the French accent and the way it sounds, and we don't know what the heck you're saying, but it's great. It is fantastic, and it's so good to hear. Could you give people your website and tell of any events that are coming up so people can check you out?
This weekend I'm going to be in Brussels, but if they go on my website, it's called chevalierministries.com, or they can go on francerevival.com, and it's the same website. And and there's my itinerary. Now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going back home this coming Tuesday, and then we'll be back in Paris for 5 days between Christmas and New Year's Eve, but that's going to be for a special event. But otherwise, I will be spending the month of January and February in the French Caribbean, in the West Indies, and then I will be mentoring and coaching people in how to hear the voice of God, and different things like that. And I will lead them into like a supernatural school. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I will be doing it in Guadeloupe. Yeah, this will be all on my website. the best way.
Nice.
Then I'm trying to rest a little bit after that.
Where's home for you? Where do you live?
I live in south of Montreal. I live in the eastern townships near the border with Vermont. There's a lake called Memphremagog Lake, Alford. So that's where I live. Yeah.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I live not far from Donald Sutherland. You know the actor? We live not far. Yeah.
Oh, how cool!
So
my goodness.
It's a nice area. But I'm in France. I'm in Europe like 9 months out of the year. So I'm more in Europe than I'm in Canada.
Gotcha. Now, we've got less than a minute left, but if there is one thing you hope people really learn from you, or your main purpose of getting out there to people, what would it be?
Well, I will tell the people to expect a supernatural encounter with God, and to experience divine favor, so their destiny will be accelerated. And the last thing I will tell them is Jesus is no joke.
Michael, you are awesome. I swear, you and your words. Thank you so much for coming on this show. This has been a long time coming, and I'm so glad I had you come on in time for the holiday season. So this has been fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Love you, my sister.
Yes, love you too. Hold on the line here for a minute. I'm going to close the show out. Everybody, okay. Michel Chevalier, fantastic. Remember, you can catch me here every Friday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. You've been listening to me, Heidi Hollis, the Outlander. Remembering always, if it's weird, we're here, and if it's godly. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
& Company is the best kept secret for great fashion at amazing prices. The new holiday collection has arrived, and this weekend is the Friends and Family sale. Every single thing 50% off. From holiday party outfits that sparkle to hundreds of spectacular gifts starting at $5. They have something for everyone, including new arrivals from their exclusive celebrity brands from Eva Mendes and Gabrielle Union. Hurry and check out the best deals of the year from New York